Hi folks, I'm going to show you how to use the Pathfinder palette to join shapes together or to cut shapes apart. First thing I'm going to do is open my swatches so that I have access to color, because I'm going to make some shapes over here using the shape tool, and I'm going to want to have them be different colors. So I'm going to first make an ellipse. An ellipse is like a circle or an oval, and it's black, so now I'm going to change it to red. Now I'm going to go back over and I'm going to get the rectangle tool. And I'm going to draw a rectangle, and since I have red selected, it'll stay red. I'm using the selection arrow to move it over, so it's kind of this keyhole shape. And now what I'm going to do is go up to the window menu. No, not there, the window menu, and I'm going to open the Pathfinder palette. What I'm going to do is I've now selected both the circle and the rectangle, and I'm going to click the Unite button. Now, as you can see, when I drag that around, the rectangle and the ellipse are united together. So they're not just grouped, they're actually fused together. So there's another function that we use on this palette pretty often, and that's called divide. So I'm going to make a rectangle, move that down, and now I'm going to make another ellipse, make the same shape, and I'm going to select them both. So I'm getting the selection tool and I'm holding shift, and I click on the ellipse and hold shift and click on the rectangle, or as I did there, I can draw a box around them both and select them. And now I've clicked divide. Now it doesn't look like anything really happened, so click outside of it, and I need to go get the white direct selection arrow, and now I can click on the overlapping area and I just hit delete, and you'll see that that center part where they overlap just came out, and those shapes are now free of each other. This is nice if you need to make a shape that has, like, maybe the inside of it is cut out. So now what I'm going to do is try to make something recognizable. So again, I'm going to use an ellipse. I'm going to change the color to yellow, and I'm going to use a brown stroke, which is the outline. And I'm going to go up into the control bar, and I'm going to change the size of the stroke to make it a little thicker. And just move that around with the selection arrow. And now I'm going to get a rectangle tool, and I'm going to draw a rectangle, and you'll notice the stroke is the same. I'm going to line these up, select them both, and I'm going to over to the Pathfinder and clicking Unite. So now I've got this big yellow shape. Now I'm going to draw another rectangle, and I'm going to change that rectangle to a gray with a darker gray outline. Then I'm going to get our friend the pen tool that we've used before, and I'm going to make sort of a trapezoid. And honestly, if I was taking my time and this wasn't a demo I was trying to get done in just a couple of minutes, I'd be really careful and make that as exact as I could. I'm going to go ahead and make that a slightly different gray. And move them up into position, and I think you can see where I'm going with that. So of course I'm creating a light bulb. I'm getting the direct selection arrow, and I'm just bringing the corners of that socket base in just a little bit, so it's got a little bit of an angle, you know, a slight taper. And I'm going to get the line tool, which just makes line segments. I'm going to draw a line segment, and I'm going to make that line segment lighter. Got to make sure that I've got the stroke part of the color palette selected, and I made it a little lighter, and I've copied it. I used key strokes there, Control C and then Control V, which is paste. And now I'm making multiple copies of those angled lines, and you can see that they look now like the threads on a light bulb. Now I'm going to hold shift, and I'm going to select each one of those so that now I have them all selected together, and I'm using the arrow keys on my keyboard to move them down just a little bit. And so there we go. There's our light bulb. We used the Pathfinder tool to join the yellow shapes together, and then we just drew the other shapes and put them where they needed to be.